Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Logify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.
Hi, I'm Will Slickers, and you're listening to Good Morning Hospitality, and this episode is brought to you by our friends at Sojo. Now, you probably heard us talk about Sojo before, and why should you care about an amenity company? Well, I'm here to tell you that Sojo is more than just amenities. They're actually a software and tech company, and the byproduct of their software and tech is the amenity delivery and logistics. So just like how we went from tape charts to property management softwares, from Excel spreadsheets to dynamic pricing, now we're going from the shopping cart, digital or in person, to Sojo. You make turnover days suck a lot less by automating the bullshit that goes into turning over a vacation home. Get Sojo with the link in the show notes and make sure you get 30 days free by using our link directly. You won't regret it, so get Sojo.
Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels and short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning, you two.
Good morning.
Happy Monday. Happy holiday Monday.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's out of office. Like, we were going to have, maybe 1 or 2 emails go out today, and then it's like, what do you do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a catch-up day.
It's a catch-up day for sure. Work in peace.
Yes. I was low-key kidding because tons of stuff to do before outside of meetings, but it's going to be good. I'm excited for this episode. You guys have anything exciting from the week before after getting all settled back into reality and coming back from Barcelona?
No, re-entry was it's tough. It's like catching up on being away on conferences for like almost 3 weeks was, brutal. So if any of you are waiting for a reply from me, just shoot me another email because I'm still going through it.
Send that follow-up.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe AI can respond for you, Brandy.
Oh, I think that's like the next thing I have to start is just like an AI auto chatbot in my inbox.
That's gonna be clutch. Well, speaking of AI, let's just jump right into it because we have an industry expert who is going to help shed some light on AI and its impact. So for all of our listeners and our live viewers, we're going to welcome Luca Zambello, who is the founder and CEO of Journey. And if you haven't heard of Journey, I would be completely shocked because from property management company and operating their own buildings and properties to now building out their own tech and implementing AI, they have made quite a wave. And so we're going to welcome Luca to the show. Good morning, Luca. How are we doing on the
morning, everyone?
West Coast?
Yes.
Good morning. I'm so thankful that our West Coast guests are able to wake up early and join us live because it's not easy. I remember doing that many times. Not fun.
No, these are more for you guys.
Yeah, we have all 4 time zones represented today, so I think I'm the lucky one.
Yeah. 10 a.m. start time must be nice.
Yeah,
must be nice. I might as well get like a whole day's worth of work done before the show. That's at least how I felt in Orlando last week. Luca, I just did a brief intro. You, Brandy, and myself have been on panels, podcasts before. I know you know Michael, but this is not going to be like a first time, like, oh, get to know you, chat. Like we know you well. But for the listeners, really quick, give them like a 30 to 60 second glimpse into your journey, and then we'll dive right into the conversation for the rest of the show today.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I started as an operator. Actually, prior to that, I started in the luxury space. This is like now 11 years ago. Here in LA, there was not much done online. Very early Airbnb, VRBO, and most of luxury rentals for short-term rentals were done through brokers. I launched a landing page at the time, was one of the first people doing Google Ads for that type of activity. Did pretty well, over $1.2 million in revenue net to us by acting basically as online brokers. From there, I spin off a management company, grew that management company to about 300 units. In the process of doing that, I was extremely frustrated by all the software providers. And so I started building my own tech stack on top of a few different existing PMSs, changed a few of them, and then came to the conclusion that I needed to build my own system. So we did that for internal use at first, and then realized that we were fixing a pretty big industry problem, which is the fragmentation problem and the connectivity problem of different solutions not really working as a single system and well with one another, and not allowing you to automate many processes that should be automated. And so we built our own software, start selling it, and then we became a software company. That's
one of the things for me when we first got introduced, I think when we met at the VRMA conference in 21, I think it was 21. You were connecting a lot of these big players like AutoHost and Wheelhouse and stuff like that. So kind of maybe walk us through that quick model of, building out your own software, but you really built out a really good connectivity platform as well for those who do like to, stick with their current providers. I'm curious, is that still a part of your guys' roadmap from where you were to where you are?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. So it's a trade-off. So it's kind of like building your own PCs versus like buying a MacBook Pro, which is already built. And so, yeah, for people that don't know, like we just have one provider per vertical. So for example, if it's cleaning management, it's just one provider. If it's pricing, it's just one provider. If it's but if it's like IoT technologies like smart locks or thermostat, those we connect with as many as possible because those don't change. The problem of software, and the reason why we only connect with one vendor versus multiple, is because that's the only way that you can create a real connections and in the entirety of their system within your system. So all their settings and all their functionalities, how can you bring them inside of your PMS? It's by just working with a single partner, because you have to customize your system around their system and they have to do the exact same thing. So it's a big investment from both sides, but the end result is a much more efficient system and a much more reliable system, and is a system that allows you to have a lot more functionalities than other systems. So yeah, it's a trade-off, but the end results are much better.
I love that approach. And my time at NoiseAware, we had a few different strategies through the years, and the buckshot scatter doesn't ever really convert. But when you go deep with 1, 2, 3 partners and kind of pick them as your best in class vertical, then it really does convert from both sides. And there's 500 PMSs out there. There's 10 pricing companies and 50 locks companies and yada, yada, yada. It's a bit overwhelming for people who moved to a market and said, I love this place. I want to share and open homes with other people in this place. And the tech burden can be cumbersome. So is it within Journey, is it all in one, or do you still have to kind of add bit by bit?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, and you probably know that's probably good time to talk about the free PMS. So we did not plan to be a PMS company at first. So we planned to be like Will said it right, like a connectivity platform. So our goal was to try to combine all these different software providers into a single platform that works seamlessly. And we did that on top of third-party PMS at first, but then those PMSs were not built to do that. So we were forced to build our own PMS, which, trust me, was the last thing we wanted to do. It's like a year and a half long challenge. Not easy. It's probably one of the hardest things I've done, and I've done many hard things. So it big challenge on building that. We successfully did that. And to successfully do that, you need to also build the direct connections with some of the biggest channels, right? Like, so you have to be a channel manager plus a PMS. So big effort. But after you successfully do that, then the whole systems come together as a whole, right? And once we build that, we said, hey, to show the market that we're something different, we're going to provide our PMS solution for free. But the PMS solution is only one component of what we've built, because our core system is being a connectivity platform. So what that means is that if you want to, you can buy the whole tech stack as a single product, and it's for one monthly fee, and you get everything. You get pricing, you get IoT connections, you get a guest mobile app, you get direct connectivity to Minute, and noise aware, depending on which one you're using. So all of those comes as a single solution, and you can buy it like that. Or you can start with a PMS for free, and then you can add different components that you want on top of that. With the PMS, we're also giving you Airbnb direct connections for free, and then soon is going to come VRBO and booking also for free, completely for free. So if somebody wants to do multi-calendar with those three different OTAs, they can do it for free. And plus, we're giving you our AI, about 90% of our AI for free as well.
I do not envy you building out all of this, Luca. But I'm impressed.
You're one of the first to really fold in AI and be open about it, transparent about it. Why, first of all, what are the biggest benefits that the clients are seeing with this, call it buzzword technology that can now hopefully be actionable? What's the key parts for you guys?
Well, we can do multiple things. I think a lot of people have been talking about AI, but very few are actually doing it. A lot of people are saying we're integrating with them, but then you don't see many solutions on the market. We actually been working with this like for almost a year prior to launching this product. So when we launched this product, it was already basically fully tested, and we had over 200 users already like using it almost on a daily basis before we launched it to the market. The only beta aspect we have is the auto response, the fully autonomous mode, which I get into it in a second. But we can do multiple things. So it's basically kind of like having an assistant, a team of assistant almost, because you have it at 24/7. And so it can go anything from helping you writing listing descriptions based on geolocations and all the settings you put on your listings, to answer reviews in a very personal way better than honestly I could come up with in terms of answers on these reviews, because it takes the sentiment of those reviews and answers based on that sentiment and based on the guest experience. We also do sentiments in reviews, so you are able to look at a glance, like what are the biggest positive and negative sentiments out of all your guests. That's the AI that can understand that. So if you want to know as a host what you should be improving or what should you double down on, or if you're running any type of direct booking campaign, you have
so
probably the best.
So it'll respond to all of the reviews. It gives you the listing data that converts the best. Have you A/B tested AI written listings versus non-AI, and what's the difference in conversions?
Well, to finish the first one, the last piece, the component we do is like guest communication as well, which is probably the biggest component. And we have a auto response system. So you have multiple systems, like one where it can pre-fill the answer for you, and the other one will actually answer directly for you, or one with a delay of 5 minutes. So it gives you time to answer, and if you forget to answer, and response rate and response time, it's one of the most important things for listing optimization. So you want to answer within 5 minutes, because whether or not Airbnb tells you, they're tracking that response time. And then if you have that 5 minutes within 5 minutes response, you're just going to rank higher. In terms of listing description, of course, you have to modify it. It's more of a helper. It's probably the least fully automated tool. Where it can get very, very automated is on the review answering, which is, if you compare to humans, is already better. And it's actually in answering guests. Believe it or not, that also is better. So we have a FAQ section for each listing, and you have it also for the guest. By the way, you can put notes on each guest, and we're building a tool where it's going to do that automatically as well. Start taking notes on each guest, and the AI will now start personalizing things based on that guest notes, and then based on your FAQ, which is something that you will give if you have a 24/7 customer support, anyways, for that properties. You will give all those information, and now will accurately. The more accurate the FAQ is, the more accurate the AI is going to become. And we already outperform humans on that task. And technically speaking, we already passed the Turing test, where people are having full conversations without knowing they're talking to AI.
Yeah, I think that that's the part that I find kind of the most exciting, but also the part that gives me the most pause, the kind of the guest communication portion. Because if someone is coming in and asking, like, what time is check-in, or like, how close is the beach, like, that's really easy. And I find that, especially maybe when you're first starting, when the technology hasn't had time to really learn enough about your properties or what's going on, that the responses might be a little strange. And so I guess, is there kind of like a ramp up period? The first month you really have to be monitoring it, and then it's on its own. Because I think the more complex questions are where I have the most like skepticism.
Yeah, I mean, we really did quite a bit of testing. So we always recommend people to start with the pre-populated answer. So basically, once you go into the chat, into the Unify inbox, whatever messages of a guest, there is a suggested answer, and you can either modify or send it. So that's the best way to start learning how it works and see what. But then on the FAQ, you can say, for this type of questions, always ask me. And we created a direct connection with Slack. So if you have a Slack channel, it will Slack you a question like it's an agent. And you will answer there, and then we'll take notes on that answer, and then have the similar answer for the future. Or you can literally say, like, for this type of questions, always ask me in the FAQ, and it will always ask you.
Yeah, so, that's awesome.
It's not much different than a human being. It's so weird to say this, but it's like if you could only communicate with to train your agents through a Slack channel, it's very similar to that, if it makes sense. And it has weirdly common sense.
Yeah.
But it
my God, it's alive. Have you had have you had like some pushback, or like have people gotten freaked out when you've demoed this for prospective clients? I know it's very new, but like, what's been the response as like specifically to like that component?
I mean, I think people are loving it. There's obviously some people that have jumped full on with autonomous mode. Like we said, autonomous mode is beta test. It's in beta, so it's like not like bulletproof yet, right?
Sure.
So there is a little bit of a risk on the full autonomous, but like some people will even find the pre-populated answer to be extremely helpful, just that by itself. Just going there and having to read it and just click send, that's already it's already a big deal.
Yeah.
But we have customers using full autonomous mode. We only released it, like 10 days ago.
Yeah.
And so far we've only got great feedback. So
that's awesome.
No really weird responses to an odd question.
No. Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
What I think AI over the past 3 months or so, maybe 5 months or so, has been the center of a lot of topics and discussions. How much of it is buzz, and how much of it is actually real and effective?
Well, I think like every time there's a big trend, people like to use it and just say that they have it. But behind all the buzz, there's actually real use cases, legit real use cases. I've done like a quick. I can give you guys an example. Like I've done a quick market research. We were talking about Bart from Google, but until plugins, like a lot of people use Auto GPT. I don't know if you guys have heard it. It's actually you use GPT-4 API and you run the script where it basically becomes like a fully autonomous agent that can accomplish tasks, and it can self-prompt itself to accomplish extremely complicated tasks. It's pretty mind-blowing. I recommend you guys looking into it. You need like a little bit of programming knowledge to get it set up. Honestly, I don't. My programmers are too busy to for our projects. They didn't help me, so I was able to manage it by just watching a YouTube tutorial video. So you can do it. But once you set it up, I had a run against Bart. I did a blog post about it to scrape Reddit. There's a Airbnb group on Reddit. I think there's over 500,000 members, and there's millions and millions and millions of messages. And I said, can you analyze all of them and give me their top 10 pain points? And it was mind blowing because it literally pinpointed all their pain points. And then I gave them both the same task. I said, can you put down a business plan or a software idea based on this pain point? Super interesting result. But why I'm saying this is because this will take months and tens of thousands of dollars to have humans do this type of research. Now I in my own room, like sitting on a computer, I was able to do that. That's mind blowing.
Yeah, those are some of the applications that, we are kind of trying to figure out where in our business we can start using AI more. And there was just I was building out some like financial models, and I was like getting stuck on some things, and I'm like, why am I just not asking ChatGPT how to do this? And it was so helpful. Like all this stuff that would normally take more time or asking more people was just like a couple of minutes. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The pulling together of lists, the writing of blogs, and to me, you mentioned it on the listings. To me, a lot of the text isn't quite there yet to sound human, but it doesn't take but 5 minutes to edit the text to make it sound human instead of, the 45 minutes it might have taken you to write it instead. So you're still shaving off significant amounts of time. And you can keep going back and asking it to like edit or change or sound more formal or sound more relaxed and iterate on its own text. So if you do want to write your own and then have it proofread it, there's just it's not something I've trained myself yet to go to and use as a crutch on everything. But I'm trying to train myself to go to it and use it as a crutch.
It's all in the prompt. Honestly, ChatGPT it's a much better language model than Bart, in my opinion. Like I've tested them both quite a bit. Obviously, the difference is the connection to the internet, but now they just released 2 days ago plugins, so you can connect ChatGPT-4 to the internet already. And the art really is in the prompt. Like when you write a proper prompt, it makes the whole difference. The more information you give it, you think you're gonna confuse it or something. No, it's better. You're gonna get the best results when you do that.
Yeah, I saw one that said ask the ChatGPT to ask you questions so it can learn better, and then it spits out like significantly better results because now it knows your demographic, or it asks you questions and then you answer it, and then it just continues to get better. So
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say, actually. Yes, which is a really good trick to get it like to write down the perfect prompt.
Well,
And
I'm
so,
curious. Oh, go ahead,
oh,
Brandy.
go ahead, Will. So, for other applications within your system, I was thinking about like the tape chart and kind of like the Tetrising that goes on, especially, I think this is more applicable if you're in like an urban building or you use the multi-unit functionality. But is that something that you see happening where these programs now where it will kind of like auto Tetris your, your reservations? But I think that that can always be improved, like making more notes if there's an early check-in or a late checkout or kind of that kind of thing. Do you foresee that being another application that you'll use?
Yeah, so one of the things we're doing right now, we're releasing an integration with a cleaning service provider like we can't say the name yet, but
Sure.
it's a pretty deep integration, and automatically the system will know once the unit is clean. The AI knows if the unit is clean, and then if you want to have it on auto prompting guests to do early check-in, it will automatically say, "Hey, the unit is available for early check-in." Or if it knows the unit is not clean yet, it would know that, or there's a booking right after, it would know that it's not allowed to give it a late checkout, and it will don't know that automatically. And if you have it for extra fees as well, you can do that and still build that into as an extra revenue, and that will be like fully automated. That's part of like building this full integrated system that knows all these different informations. We're able to communicate with the cleaning mobile app, also like the lock information. So when the cleaner is out of the units, so we can confirm the units it's being cleaned and the door is being locked. And at the same time, our system will know from the cleaning app if the units has been cleaned and by who. And that's part of that's part of the like having like this vertically integrated system. It's kind of essential if you want to have a really good AI, because the AI's, like we were talking about, it's all about information. The more information you give it, the more precise and accurate it's going to be. But it's true the exact opposite. The least information you're going to give it. So if you don't have access to all this like small nuances of information, it's not going to be accurate. And it's going to give wrong information or not know how to answer, which defeats the purpose.
As Michael was saying earlier, you guys are like one of the first to really go out and say, not only are we building out this tech around AI, but you're really implementing it in a day-to-day basis. I'm curious on kind of two things. One is the verification of the information being given, because I actually played with Bard and ChatGPT, and I asked Bard to give me the top list of I think it was like hotel and short-term rental operators that have a mixed model of like hotel operations, but short-term rental tech. And I think it was a little bit of a confusing question maybe, but it gave me like a bunch of random answers. And I also asked it to give me a list of all of the startup guests that we've had on the show. So people that have like raised money or been acquired, and it didn't do very well. So like that was a little rough on the Bard side. And so the information was kind of lacking, but then also too, with the verification of information, where's Journey? Obviously there's a lot of tasks being taken away from guest experience or customer service agents. Other team members are usually doing this type of thing in a property management company. Where do you guys see AI, that fine line of like AI and human in this whole industry? Because at the end of the day, I think we all know, one, this is Good Morning Hospitality. We love the industry as a whole, but where does that fine line of humans and AI kind of riding with you guys and the future of AI?
Yeah, no, I love these questions. So to address the first question, GPT-4 is, in my opinion, much better and a lot more ahead than BART. The only difference, like you said, is connecting to the internet, but accomplishing the task of being able to answer generic questions is 100 times, 1,000 times harder than give it a finite set of answers, right? So I'm sure that if you have a customer support, you train them on some type of documentation, and when you feed this type of documentation, plus you really give a finite set of data, which is like the reservations and that units in terms of information they can share, sounds crazy, but it's a lot easier to do that, and it will give you a lot more accurate answer than just be like, hey, the answer is whatever you can find on the internet. It really has to consider almost infinite amount of data, which they cannot do yet, right? We'll get there, but we're not there yet. So usually, like a bard of the situation would just scrape some articles, some things, and then take the consideration from that. So it's not going to be that accurate unless you feed a specific article. But if you try, for instance, to ask the same question, but you feed specific set of data that you want, you give it 10 links and say, scrape these 10 links, it will be a lot more accurate at giving that answer.
Yeah.
That's just one thing that I want to say. The second thing is, of course, hospitality is made by humans. And this is actually a conversation that came up in London as well at a conference. But there's two things. One, you have to consider that if you're not doing it, somebody else is going to do it. So as it's a competitive advantage, in my opinion, having an AI component because of cost. Two, in terms of custom experience and being able to give guests this, tailored experience, AI is going to be much better at doing that than humans. Humans forget, humans can be grumpy, humans can be in the wrong mood. AI doesn't. AI doesn't forget. AI, if it makes a mistake, it's something that you're going to fix once, but once you fix it, it's not going to repeat again. It's just going to be better at those type of tasks. It still needs a human input from the creativity side, from the custom experience once you get into the unit, in customizing the AI so it becomes even more likable for the guests. So of course the human aspect is still going to remain extremely important in hospitality. And as of right now, I think it will remove some of the not wanted jobs. And I think where humans can make a difference is by focusing on what they like most, which is creating more of this experience. And what I think is beautiful so far, and maybe in the future it's going to change, but as of right now, it's an enhancer. So it's just going to make whatever you were going to do anyways better and faster. That's how I see it.
The AI for responding to guests and negative reviews just makes total sense, because you entirely remove the emotional aspect of wanting to defend your property or this, that, the other, and just simply responding factually, articulately, and without emotion. That leads me to my last question, Luca. Will AI take over the world?
Careful what you say, Luca.
I know. No, I mean the AGI, right? They call it like that, or the singularity. I think it's interesting. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're at a danger zone yet. But who knows? This is such a complex technology, and I think like every tool, the intentions of who's behind is usually what it's a tool, right? You can use a gun to police people and make sure there is law in place, or you can use a gun to commit a crime. This is a very powerful tool, and I think we need to be careful from that standpoint of view. And but it's going to be an interesting time for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
It was an answer, but not a direct answer. So good job, Luca.
Spoken like a politician.
He's not training the algorithm. Good job.
Yeah.
Algorithm, be good. Be nice to us.
It's too funny. Well, Luca, seriously, super impressed by what you guys have been building. Hearing the challenges of building tech and implementing AI, and of course now seeing the successes of it and how it's being applied, just super encouraged to keep watching the journey, no pun intended, continuing on. And for me, I'm just excited to have you back on, and once we have more more and more things happening with AI and shifting and changing as the industry is applying it more and all this other stuff. So yeah, I just want to say thanks for being on the show and dropping some knowledge for all of our listeners today.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. It was super fun and great questions.
Well, sweet. If you had one place to send any of the listeners right now, where would you send them? Where's a good spot that they could find out more about you guys or you and just kind of connect and learn more about AI and the applications in hospitality?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, on my LinkedIn. So if you want to connect, happy to connect. Or obviously, our website, journeyjurny.com as well.
Awesome.
Plus a lot of stuff also on our blog about AI.
Perfect. We'll make sure to plug in the show notes. It's the show note action day. Michael, Brandy, any final thoughts for you guys as we're wrapping up with Luca here?
No, I mean, I'm kind of excited for our own company's like application of AI, and I think it's going to be really exciting. So maybe in a couple months we can compare notes.
Love it.
Yeah, I am purposefully and actively trying to use it more and more. So hopefully I'll have some lessons, both good and probably bad, on how to and not to use it.
We'd love to exchange notes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Luca, so much. And for all of our listeners, make sure you like and subscribe, check out everything Journey, and we'll see you all again next week.
Want to stop juggling spreadsheets, calendars, and a dozen apps just to run your rentals? Logify makes it easy. It's an all-in-one toolkit for hosts. Build a direct booking website, automate guest messaging, and keep all your channels in sync. Running your rental business your way has never been simpler. And for Good Morning Hospitality listeners, you can get 20% off any yearly plan with code GMH20. Just check the link in the show notes to get started today.